Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson, still in our series about planning your peak week. And we're going to move into food with travel. So this is a big deal that a lot of people don't often consider. And I remember when I was competing, Adam, I would do things like, freeze, like cook all my food, package it, weigh it in individual containers, freeze it, and then carry it in a small flexible cooler on a plane so it would stay literally frozen. Some people I know now will even hire food prep companies to just deliver it to their on-site location. What are the considerations when you're sitting down mapping out a peak week for somebody? How do you discuss this topic of what foods might need to change because you're going to be traveling?
Yeah, the biggest thing is having extra of everything can be huge, whether you're, like you said, shipping it to the venue or carrying it on. Is having extra food is huge. And one of the biggest things that I've noticed clients will change is they will not season their show day food for whatever reason. We've been tracking sodium all week. So when I do a show day food plan, I actually put like in parentheses, season all of your food like you have all week. So that's one of my biggest things with show day food and travel, because if you buy different brands of stuff when you travel, the sodium might be different. If you're going to Publix instead of Kroger, the chicken you're getting might be different than the chicken you're getting there, especially if you're doing like deli meats or something like that. So that's always something to consider. And I'll say I usually overshoot salt on show day just in case for instances like that. So that's one of the biggest things that kind of can change. But then also having extra food to prepare for what if carbs go up. So, packing extra sweet potatoes and maybe having some rice cakes on hand to just get a few more carbs up. As long as it's something that the client digests well, it's really all about bringing more than you think you will need and being over-prepared.
Yeah, I've definitely seen people make both of those mistakes. And I remember early in my career doing the same thing, just grilling the raw chicken breast, freezing it, and then get there. And you're right, none of the condiments or seasonings or sodium level was the same. But the opposite can happen. If you're used to doing that at home, then all of a sudden you're going to Outback Steakhouse, twice a day on location, and all of a sudden you could quadruple your sodium intake. So you have to watch for that. I do know an awful lot of people now will try and get into hotels where it's a suite or something where they have a kitchenette. And, even though it might be different, if you're at least buying your food from a grocery store there like you do at home and you're preparing it, you at least minimize some of those things. But let's talk about like maybe what might not be easy to travel with. If I'm used to using egg whites for my breakfast and it's a quick trip, I'm not going to where I may even have that kitchenette. Are you okay with people making some food source changes for contest day, or do you want them to really consider that ahead of time and start tapering that in toward the show?
Yeah, we'll want to, if they are traveling with something they're not going to travel with or buy there, we want to make sure we put something to replace it to make sure they're not having any GI distress during the week. And we can usually assume it's just from that one or two items they change. But I usually will try to keep everything almost as the same as possible. And sometimes they do get there and they might be out of something. I know at some of these national shows, a lot of people are eating some similar things. And it can seem like the end of the world to somebody if they're out of something that they normally eat. So what I might do, if it's a meat, for instance, replace it with another protein. So like, let's say they were out of egg whites, but they've been eating turkey all week and have done okay with that. I'll put turkey there, change the sodium content, so have them flavor it somehow so it's higher in sodium. And then we can make that as like a breakfast meal, for instance, versus having the egg whites.
Right. So there you go, guys. When you are planning your peak week, understand that when you travel, you're going to have to think through those food options, and you may need to have secured some of those products on site. You may need to take them with you. You may need to think about Can I even take this on a plane? So a lot of things to consider, and we're going to keep walking through this series on how to plan your peak week. So we will catch you next time.